Good evening. For some of you who may know this, I'm I live in the Florida area. Um, One of the biggest places that is most abundance for people in the southeast is a lovely place where they say pop shopping is a pleasure. Publix. So I have no idea. Interesting. I guess it was World Nutella Day. Um, I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try go with, well, not beer. Definitely not that. Um, Try to figure out what I could do with $5 inside Publix for dinner tonight. Oh, that's not part of dinner. This may take up at least half my budget, but kale for $2. Yes. But I'm gonna wait. That's okay. Baby kale blend. Oh, I hope it was just baby kale. I don't know. We're gonna figure this out. I want to show you how expensive Publix can be compared to Walmart. Acorn squash. This is $1.99, $1.49 a pound. This is the smallest one I found, and I'm not even sure if it's right. But this is almost a pound, so this is $1.50 just about. Let's see, the yellow onions are $1.49 a pound. If I can find a tiny one, I'm gonna find one close to one that I have at home to try and see if I keep in. Yeah, I know I have a bunch of yellow onions at home, so I may cheat. I'm trying to look for one that looks like the size of one I have at home already. Oh, sorry. So, how big is a 1 pound one? Because I know I've got yellow onions like these size, and this would be, but this is not even half a pound. So, stop moving. It's about half a pound. I mean, if I deduct 75 cents out of my budget, cool. Let's figure this out. I kind of want to do tomatoes. We're going to think a little bit more. But Florida produce, I think this is either a pomelo or a Honeybell Tangelo. Let's see how much this thing weighs. Okay, there's only the one scale here. And that thing is not flat. I may be increasing my budget for tonight's dinner. No, it's not too bad. Okay. I kind of don't want to do a potato, but I'm so lazy. Potatoes are something that don't bother me too much, which would be very interesting to do squash, orange, and potato. So if I look at everything that I just got, this potato is $1.29 a pound, and it's under a pound. This acorn squash is less than a pound, and that's $1.50. So let's say we're close to like a little less than $3 right there. Oh gosh, the math. It's like 180-ish. And this thing, Tandalo, is like, how much are you? Damn it. Okay, I don't know. We're gonna figure this out. Acorn squash?
It just wasn't scanning for
Oh,
me.
okay.
Alright, it's gonna be $4.70.
Okay. Alright, sports fans. It hasn't been long for you, but it's been a minute for me. I came home, I had to change out of my pants because I don't show this on this channel, or really anything except for my personal Instagram. I do go to the gym, and my calf muscle, Is it a calf? I don't know. What is, who knows? What is this thing right here? That's a calf, right? It's hurting me, so I had to change into comfy pants. These are actually not pants. These are slave clothes that's tied around my waist. But I want to show you exactly what I ended up getting. I did get the acorn squash. The acorn squash was like 0.86 pounds. The tangelo was less than half a pound. I've got the sweet potato, which was a little less than half a pound, but I splurged, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use the onion because technically that's cheating. I got arugula because the container I was looking at wasn't straight kale, it was the same brand. So I wanted to try see what would happen if I used arugula. So the first things that I do have to do for this, I'm going to also adjust my, I don't think I can adjust anymore. Okay, I'm just going to, there we go. So we're paying more attention to what I'm doing and not me. I'm going to go ahead and grab a cutting board. Because I stopped wanting to be on screen for these videos a while ago. But I'm going to have to do a quick thing, and I'm going to have to cut this in two and chop up the sweet potato because I'm going to roast these both. Because I feel like most people roast acorn squash, and that's the easiest way to get it soft, so I'm going to have to roast it. So while I'm actually doing that, I might as well go ahead, turn on the oven, because that's a good idea. Let's try 475. Is that a little much? I feel like that's a little much. I know I'm hungry, but still. 400! We'll try 400. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the acorn squash in half with my handy dandy knife. Yes, if you recognize this, this is not brand placement, but I used to sell Cutco. I don't know if anybody can see that. I doubt it. But I don't have a cleaver though. I hope my oven's gonna preheat, but and please be careful when using knives at home. Oh my gosh. I also need to get this thing sharpened. Ta-da! Inside of an acorn squash. Woo! And I'm also going to I think I'm going to have to peel this thing. I'm going to peel it and then chop it up. But, ooh. This thing smells funny, but it's a squash. And it's an acorn squash. So, I'm going to peel this thing up. I'm going to cut this up a little bit more. Hopefully get it to roast a little bit faster, and I'm going to peel this and chop this up, and we'll be back with that. Alright, so, well, I don't know why I turned the camera back on. I'm going to go ahead, chop up this little sweet potato. I skinned it mostly, you can see. Please be careful if you're inept with knives. I am not completely inept, and I'm aware my knife is dull. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm going to hurt myself. Yeah. When I actually used to sell these knives, they talked about the idea of, like, be careful. I learned a lot of things about dealing with knives, selling knives. But, you know, when you have a dull knife, you're not as careful as if you have a sharp knife. And even though this thing's dull, it's probably still, like, way sharper, like, and can hurt me. Well, no, that's what they say. Dull knives, people really hurt themselves with dull knives more than they do with sharp knives. Because, you know, you see how much pressure I put in there. You should honestly not have to put so much pressure. I mean, in reality, you see how still kind of easy I can chop through this thing. So, I'm going to chop this up. I'm going to do a rough chop. Should I do a smaller chop? Should I do rounds? Gosh, this is really late to be thinking about this. I've already chopped up half this darn thing. You know what? I think I'm going to do one side as chopped and one side, like, round chop. Yeah, this is definitely not the time to think about how you should chop your vegetables after you've already started cutting. You know, if you've ever heard of that sewing thing, measure once, measure twice, cut once. Yeah, I just didn't even measure and I just started cutting. Yeah, I'm gonna do some round bits here on this side. Round round bits, round bits. Eat. I don't know why I didn't. This was like gouged in. Kind of want to peel it off. I feel like my peeler does more than it's supposed to. Like, I don't know if I like that bit. I'm gonna peel it off of the potato. That's my philosophy. Peel it off! Peel it off! Did you know that this end of a potato peeler is actually supposed to be to, like, get out sprouts? I was taught that, like, ages ago. I honestly only used it yesterday to do that. It's kind of funny. And again, be careful with knives. Because I do weird stuff. Okay. There's that, and the butternut squash, I'm gonna... Still smells funny to me, but it's just butternut squash. I'm gonna actually chop this up a little bit more. Yeah, we're back at this point of like... Oh yeah, I should probably take the seeds out, but you know what, I'm gonna be lazy. I'm just gonna chop it up first. And then I'm going to afterwards... yeah, that was probably a better idea. Leave it on the flat side, yes. This is not this is a slightly educational video. As, let's be smart. Put the flat side down and chop. Or cut. Or do whatever it is I'm doing. Well, not exactly. Okay. I'll admit, I did not wash these vegetables, but I think you really don't... Not many people eat the skin of an acorn squash, so... So yes, I'm gonna do this again, but the more appropriate way. Ooh, take off the stem bit. Bye, stem. Ooh, that's still good, right? Okay. But you wanna? Ooh, too thin. Just good. Oh yeah, this is. I'm not a professional. Hello. And what did I learn? I think I learned this from Chobits, you know. Ah, anime. Yes, I'm a nerd. Create the paw and chop. That's to not cut off your fingers. But then again, I think I learned that in school too. I did not go to culinary school. But I did take a class in food prep. These are not all the same size. We're gonna be okay with that. I'm gonna have to be okay with that. Oven's almost to temperature, so luckily things are gonna go in soon. Yay! So what I'm gonna do now is I'm running a little bit blinder than I was a second ago. I'm gonna take some olive oil, and what was I gonna do? Oh my god. Okay. I'm cheating. Well, since I didn't what's it, garlic? Since I won't, like, this was my tab at the end of everything. I wanted to use an onion, but my tab was actually at like $4.70, and I think according to the weight that I compared my onion to another onion, it was like maybe would have been 50 cents. So I was only trying to do this as like a $5 food. I'm gonna be using seasonings. These are some cheap seasonings. I think they're from Walmart. I don't know. From Chesapeake, Virginia. Cool. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get those ready. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a sheet pan. Handy dandy sheet pan. Which is probably over here. And spices isn't cheating. I mean, honestly, you can have spices. Everybody buys spices. And what I want to do is I want to... Is it lazy if I don't take out the seeds? Probably. I feel like they're so much simpler just to do with a spoon. What was I saying? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm making noises. Okay, so what I was thinking is the fact that everybody's got seasonings. I am choosing a specific kind of blend. can you eat these seeds? They look like pumpkin seeds. But I, a lot of times you get seasonings at the dollar store. My phone's making noise because I like to play trivia like every night around 8 o'clock, and that was probably my notification. But I'm just gonna do a very simple seasoning. This seasoning actually has salt in it. This garlic, pepper. What is this? It's a garlic pepper seasoning. It's supposed to just have salt, sugar, garlic, black pepper, and sulfate stuff. Probably for preservative. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take out all the seedy bits. All the seedy bits, yes. From the acorn squash. I'm gonna throw some olive oil on everything, and I'm just gonna roast this, maybe even partially. I have this weird feeling like maybe I can just pan do these, but I'm gonna roast these. And it's gonna be nice and delicious. Hopefully. Ew. Oh my gosh, no. And again, I maybe shouldn't throw too much on seasoning on there. So you gotta be careful. People who have like issues with their heart, I shouldn't be using stuff that's like salt. How much salt is in here? Salt was like the first ingredient on here, wasn't it? Yeah. That's not a lot of salt. Alternative. I think I may use a different seasoning. A more expensive seasoning. Or not. We'll see. So, I made a mistake. I went ahead and put about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in there and then kind of tried to rub everything with it and then put the seasoning in there, which I think is probably better to do like this. Because my seasoning thing said you can do like, it's about the serving size is the equivalency of like 1/4 teaspoon. So, I look like that's 1/4 tablespoon. Is it 1/4 tablespoon? TSP, oh gosh, I think I've already just made this crazy. But, that's okay. That's okay. So I've kind of laid everything flat. I was in the middle of my trivia game while I was doing this. So I'm going to go ahead. The oven is set. If you can see that, it is 400 degrees. You might not be able to see that. It is 400 degrees, ready to go. I've probably put the legs of my new tripod into oil, but I'm going to go ahead, open the stove, try not to hurt myself, and put this in. I may do an experiment with the leftovers, and see exactly how well. Maybe I can just do that, saute this in a pan. But I also did some research, and acorn squash, you can eat the skin as long as you roast it long enough. I'm gonna try see what happens in like an hour. Okay. And hope for the best. So I'm gonna be eating late tonight, or I may just try something else. So the other, well, that's going at it. I'm gonna try to clean up. Actually, you know what? I will try a theory, because if this works, maybe I'll be eating sooner. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of oil, very little bit of oil. Sorry, I put way too much oil in there, and a little bit of seasoning with these pieces of squash and sweet potato. I don't know. Can you see me doing this? Yeah. It looks like I'm just kind of grabbing stuff. But there's a little bit of oil left in there. I'm going to grab a little bit more oil. Not a lot. But I'm going to go ahead, just do that. Do a little smidge of onion powder. This is not onion powder. It says onion powder, but that looks like way bigger. And again, I don't always use my seasonings. I'm going to do a small smidge of the garlic pepper seasoning. Ta-da! And go with that. Small smidge. That's got salt in there. And I'm going to go ahead, clean this up, and I'm going to maybe see what happens if I try to pan saute this, like over slow heat. Slow, low heat. Slow and steady wins the race, yes. Maybe. Luckily, I'm not that hungry yet. Alright. It's been like a good minute. I also don't want to make sure everything feels hot above me, but it's because I'm over the stove vent. I can't tell if you could see that's at like 54:45, 54:43. Okay, let's not count that much, but the pan feels a little hot. I'm going to turn it back down. I'm going to go ahead and add my vegetables and shake out whatever oil's left in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and let that go back at like very medium, low, medium, low, medium, and just kind of let that go for a little bit. I'm going to check back on it in a few minutes.